Walao, marketing budget is almost gone already, but the sales are still like that.
Then just run more ads lor, use meta ads or something.
I already tried lah, spend so much but the ROI is like meh only.
Then why not try influencer marketing? Not everyone also on TikTok and Instagram what.
Yeah, I also thought about that. But influencers nowadays very ex yeah. Some charge thousands for one video.
Hey guys, so how? I just want results only. Which one gives better ROI?
Actually, that's exactly what we wanted to find out. In today's business world, social media has become one of the most popular ways for brands to reach and engage consumers. With the rise of online personalities and content creators, influencer marketing has emerged as a popular strategy to produce more authentic advertising than traditional forms of marketing. This shift raises an important business question that we are focusing on for our presentation. Does influencer marketing generate better ROI than other forms of marketing on social media? While influencer campaigns drive visibility and engagement, they also come with higher costs and lesser control over brand messaging. Therefore, it is critical for businesses to evaluate whether the perceived effectiveness of influencer marketing translates into measurable financial performance. We will now examine whether influencer marketing is the most effective strategy to achieve high ROI, then go deeper in and compare macro and micro influencers. Lastly, we will prepare our recommendations from our analysis.
To reiterate, the objective of our statistical analysis is to evaluate whether influencer marketing generates a higher ROI compared to other forms of marketing on social media. Our data is also simulated using Gen AI, so while it reflects realistic trends, it may not fully capture real-world complexities. Now, we'll discuss our statistical analysis. Part 1 will be comparing the ROI between influencer marketing and other forms of marketing. So we analyzed a dataset of 50 campaigns, including both influencer marketing and other forms of marketing, with variables like cost, reach, engagement rate, and sales revenue. We calculated ROI by taking net profit divided by cost. We then grouped the campaigns by type to compare their average performance. From our results, influencer marketing achieved a higher average ROI of about 1.24 compared to 0.99 for other forms of marketing, suggesting it may be more effective. To complement our analysis, we also use a box plot to visually compare ROI across different campaign types. As shown, influencer marketing consistently achieves higher ROI than other forms of marketing. To test if this difference is statistically significant, we conducted a one-tailed t-test. The p-value is far below 0.05, so we reject the null hypothesis. Hence, there is strong statistical evidence that influencer marketing generates a higher ROI than other forms of marketing.
We then ran a regression model to understand what drives ROI. The results show that campaign type has a significant impact. Specifically, non-influencer campaigns generate about 0.359 units lower ROI compared to influencer campaigns. Additionally, cost negatively affects ROI, while reach has a positive impact, showing that higher spending reduces efficiency, but wider reach improves returns. Our model also has a high adjusted R-square of 0.8918, indicating a good fit to the data. Now, we will move on to part 2, which compares the effectiveness of micro and macro influencers. Since the results show that influencer marketing generates a significantly higher ROI than other forms of marketing, we will further examine which types of influencers are most effective. Hence, the analysis now focuses on comparing micro and macro influencers to determine which groups use higher ROI. Based on the data set, micro influencers have a higher average ROI than macro influencers. We also generated a box plot comparing ROI between micro and macro influencers. As shown, micro influencers consistently achieve higher ROI than macro influencers.
We then conducted a two-tailed t-test to determine if there is a significant difference in ROI between micro and macro influencers. The p-value is extremely small, well below 0.05, so we reject the null hypothesis. This provides strong statistical evidence that micro and macro influencers differ in ROI. We then run a regression model to analyze the impact of different factors on ROI. The results show that influencer type is significant. Switching from macro to micro influencers increases ROI by about 1.35 units. Cost negatively affects ROI, while both reach and engagement rate have positive and statistically significant effects, indicating that higher interactions and audience reach improve performance. The model also has a very high adjusted R-squared of 0.9889, showing that it explains most of the variation in ROI and fits the data excellently. Overall, influencer marketing generates significantly higher ROI compared to other forms of marketing. Within this, micro-influencers outperform macro-influencers, while cost reduces ROI and reach and engagement drive better campaign performance.
Let's dive into the core implication of our campaign data, starting with our first major finding. Smaller audiences perceive micro-influencers as significantly more authentic. The number clearly backed this up. Our data proved that micro-influencers yield a much higher average ROI of 1.444 compared to just 0.771 for macro-influencers. And what this tells us is that marketing effectiveness isn't just a number game based on reach. It's driven by the quality of engagement and audience trust. This allows us to cater to niche market effectively, which is especially valuable when we are trying to connect with highly localized sectors like home-based businesses. Moving on to our second point, large spending actually reduces efficiency. We observe an inverse relationship where as the overall cost of a campaign increases, the ROI proportionately decreases. There's a steep drop-off in marginal utility when scaling influencer spend, especially pouring big budget into a single campaign often lead to costly empty reach. It simply does not convert as efficiently as utilizing more affordable, highly targeted micro-influencers. Finally, implication number 3 ties this all together. Meaningful interaction drive conversion far more effectively than passive exposure. While sheer reach generally has a positive effect, our micro versus macro model highlights engagement rate as a true driver of performance. Specifically, a 1% increase in engagement correlates directly with a 0.0212 unit increase in ROI. This implies that genuine active audience engagement is a true engine of conversion rather than just putting an ad in front of passive eyes.
Based on our findings, we propose 3 key recommendations. First, brands should reallocate their budgets. Instead of investing heavily in macro influencers, companies should shift towards micro influencers who deliver stronger ROI, as previously mentioned 1.444 compared to 0.771. Micro influencers are better at reaching niche audiences with lower costs and higher engagement, which ultimately maximizes returns. Second, brands need to optimize the quality of engagement. Our analysis shows that engagement is a key driver of ROI. This means brands should prioritize creators with strong interaction rates such as likes, comments, and shares, rather than simply choosing influencers with large follower counts. In other words, active audience participation matters more than passive reach. Finally, businesses should shift from a transactional to a relationship-focused approach. Instead of one-off sponsored posts, brands should build long-term partnerships with micro-influencers. This strengthens authenticity and allows brands to consistently tap into the trust that influencers have already built with their audience. Overall, these 3 strategies work together to improve efficiency, deepen audience trust, and drive stronger conversion outcomes. That's the end of our presentation. Thank you.